Your waste collection only in 3 months. So this is a very interesting subject. And please, Stefano, go ahead with that.
So thank you so much. We already met last year in Singapore, so we know a little bit about the topic. It's for sure more practical. I liked a lot the presentation about nuclear energy. This is more like, let's say, practical use of day-by-day routine applied to the family, but also about energy. I will explain later. So I try to put like all the languages of the speakers and the part of the process. So just to explain who I am, my background is from IT. I started to work as a waste management consultant about 9 years ago. I manage about the 100 Italian municipalities, about 1.2 million inhabitants. I was sick of a bad sickness that is like political career, but it's finished. So I'm not sick anymore. I made like 15 years of town councillor in Italy. It's strictly like volunteer because it's not paid. So my salary for 15 years was $1,000. So you can make the calculation. So now I'm not sick anymore. So finish. So I made 2 main publications. One is like about World Bank, and another one is about CAF, that is Spanish. Banco de Desarrollo de America Latina. One is about the 7 best case studies in the world about waste management in let's call third world countries, but I prefer like to explain you later this part. And this is about how to apply the European system in the Latin American world using also the AI. I'm from a city that is in the north of Italy, that is Brescia. I don't know if you know it, but it's Brescia and Bergamo. These two are the 2 most industrialized provinces in Europe. So we grow up with a little bit like with work mentality, but we are also fun when we want. So this is where I have like my experience in conferences or work. My work is mainly focused in Italy, but I have a lot of activity also in Latin American world, a little bit of collaboration in other countries. About waste production, I put the same map only to explain to you the main difference that you can find worldwide is that the biggest production, except for some cases that you can check on the east like Mongolia, it's connected to the salary. So bigger is the salary, more things that you don't need you buy, more waste you produce. This is low. You can see US, it's like the master of this thing. Let's go. Different production made by salary. Higher salary has about 30% of food and green production. This is very important for you to explain the difference. Let's talk about low income. You can see that it's more than 50%. Why? Because when you don't have enough money, you have to buy food. You cannot buy things that you don't need. We can see the same about Latam, that is about Latin American and Caribbean. It's more than 50%. If I check also here, Asian Pacific, we can see the same. Because we have some increase about salary in some countries like China, but mostly of them have still like low salary compared to, let's say, Europe. There is some Japanese?
Yeah.
Only 2, okay. So, I love Japan as a country, incredible. You are super strict to the rule, but waste, no good. It's like US. So we can check that one was Tokyo. This separate collection about Japan, it's about 20%, but it's extremely low for the quality of the country. Why? Because Japan is concentrated in incineration. So the main like system is about incinerate.
Anche qua uguale, vedi? Qua
condominio. So, very ordered collection, but very small. So the biggest quantity was, let's say, waste.
Altra postazione, faccio un po' di roba gabbia abbandonata per la raccolta.
So, what is that? It was a separate collection in Tokyo and Okinawa, and it's mainly, let's say, the most of the part that was separated, it was only paper, a little bit of plastic, but there is not food waste collection. So if you have more than 50% of waste and you don't collect them, it's going to landfill or incinerators. So I will show you later. This is the main difference between the continents. So you see that Oceania, it's okay, it's 30%, but it's like not a case because the population is very low. You see the main difference, it's Europe, it's another planet. US, it's very bad, also Canada, not incredible. But if you check, for example, I made the comparison between the third three, because we have also one Polish speaker later, I think. So you can check Italy and Germany are both more than 60%. This is average of a nation. So Germany were a little bit cheater, because they consider waste to energy as recycling. So if you incinerate, they say it's recycled, if it's waste to energy, but it's not. So this real percentage, it's lower than Italy. But if we check about the continent, we can see that the difference between European Union and the others, it's huge. So this is like the European countries. Okay, we need to, I need to say to you, because this system, it's made like this because we have an European directive in 1998 that said that all the countries have to be below 65% of separate collection before 2012, then they postponed to 2020. So the system that we used, it can generate a reduction of waste. You can see the cost of the landfill, it's the blue part, the green part, it's the collection. So more you increase the separate collection and more you decrease the total cost of the system. So the collection is made by a system that is door by door. So we have a bin, it's like the same in Germany, but they have bigger bins. In Italy we use smaller because we found out, for example, in US they use like 90 gallons, that is the equivalent of 360 liters. Bigger is the bin, bigger is your production. So it's psychologically, if you give a big bin, you will fill it. So we reduce, for example, trash, it's maximum 25-40 liters, so it's 1/10 of your capacity. The plastic need to be bigger because if you go to a supermarket, 80% of what you have is plastic and metal packaging. We have a calendar, so every day is a specific type of collection. So it's door by door. Why it's better door by door than a big trash bin in the street? Because you have personal responsibilities. If the trash bin it's next to his house, I don't care. But if you need to expose next to your door, every bin it's clean and order because I take care about my house. So this is about the communication part, that it's important because you will see later I'm specialized more in applying this system in Latin countries, because we are not Japanese. Like if we make a rule, we try to cheat. So we need to apply a system that works better. So you start with children because adults doesn't participate in the public speeches. So I need to work with children, not for them, but because I use them as monster in the families. So they enter and they like spread the verb. So this is like children. After we work with economical operators, with people. This, for example, is an example during COVID in Sardinia. So we manage, I found out, for example, that in Sardinia the community is matriarchal, so I have to work more with women instead of men. Okay, so we don't have place in a church, everywhere, Zoom, whatever you want. So let's pass to the economical part. To apply the system that it could be work, we found out that you need to generate a system with a leverage of a personal advantage. So how it works, we put like one RFID on the bin. There is like a system where you can decode and make the measure of the volume of the production of a single user about trash. So this is like something that you can have in some state in US, like pay as you throw.
Where is this?
this is not in Italy, but it's in Varese. But I will show you. It's like now we have mostly 20% of the town in Italy that apply this system. So we found out that when you put like a personal leverage, more than 80% of the users will do it. Because if we say, let's save the world, blah blah blah, nobody cares. So we need to put, I can work with children about save the world, but adults and economical operators, they care only about money. So we can track all the trucks, we can track all the, for example, this is Cagliari in Sardinia. It's the only capital of the regions that made this system, and I made it in 2020. So we track this, every line that you see, it's one bin. So I see like every collection, every bin, everything. This is like the map of northern Italy. All the colored area that you can see, it's part that was applying in 2021 pays to taxation. So 5 years ago was 1% of the municipality, and now it's over 10%. So the increase, it's huge. Only to show a fast, let's say, reality picture of the world. This is Cuba. I don't know if someone were in Cuba recently. I visit a lot of places in the world. The most disaster place that I saw, it's Cuba now. So reality of Cuba, it's like this. This was like one project that is amazing. It's called El Batazo.
Amigos de...
So this one, it's like a reuse center. This is a collection, but the real reality on the street is something like this. This is center of Havana is like this.
What is that?
This is the center of La Habana.
No, I'm talking about the interference.
This is the center of La Habana,
Yeah.
of the capital of Cuba. Actually, the salary in Cuba, it's about 1,500, 2,000 pesos, but it's about $4-5 per month. With this salary, you can buy 20-30 eggs. Finish. So this is the actual reality of Cuba. Panama, just to share that this is the place with the highest GDP per capita in Latin American world. Situation, it's mainly the same. You can see. So, technically in Spanish, this is called vertedero. So every small town that you, it's like a landfill, but it's not illegal. So every town in Latin America has something like this. This is a town of 1,000 people. So you can see, this is Colona, the north of the Panama Canal. So
You said it's not legal.
It's legal.
It is legal.
Legal. So this is Central Panama. It's the same. So everywhere that you go, this is like Rio de Janeiro. This is a part that is called San Corrado. The biggest favela in Latin America, that is called La Rocinha. Connection when it works, but the problem is that most of the waste is going in the water channels and is going to the sea. So this was like, but majority of the world is like this. So we have to think about when I was listening to Paul and the main key speakers about the collection in the ports and the airborne. Perfect, but most of the waste is not coming from the ships.
Yeah.
It's like the people that is throwing in the water fields. So Panama, just to show you what I'm trying to do in there, it's like to reduce like this problem. So majority of Latin American countries works with these people that is called recicladores, catadores in Portuguese. They are operating by hands in the waste, separating the stuff. So the only type of recycling is making like this. It's disaster working condition, whatever. I will try to change something in the system. I will show you how. So case studies of Italy, just to show my work. This is like 11 towns that I took like in the mid 2010, about 2014. You see that we started, the average was about 20%, now it's all over 75% of separate collection. Reduction of waste, this was like a landfill before, and this is like at the end. So average reduction of waste to landfill, it's over 70%. let me show you, like this is one case study that it's Ricordo al Golfo, it's a small town, but just to show you. Change of collection system, application of pay-as-you-throw. So when you change the system, you reach over 65% of separate collection, and when you apply pay-as-you-throw, you arrive at 90%. It's numbers that, for example, for US, it's like unthinkable, because the average is less than 30%. So trash production for kilogram per person was 400 kilograms. Now it's 40. They didn't eat it, they only separate it. So, is it working only in rich countries? I will make a first one. This is Salacia in Eastern Europe, in Romania. So, 2017, we tried to study the system. We thought that we can apply it in one city of 200,000 people. It was too big, so we select one town of 2,000. The Romanian politicians say it's not working, it will not be possible, but I try to don't believe them. So they said it will be 20 years, it's like the fusion reactor, they said the same, but say I don't believe them. So in 1 month we reached from 1% to 65%. This small town, 2018, the project. So the city that said it's impossible to do it in 2018 now has my system. So this is like Zoltan, that was like the manager of the landfill, converted the work in the recycling and collection, and from zero he managed 100 towns in Romania, and it has like about 600 trucks for collection and about 10 plants. So arriving to my case. So this is what, if you can put one place in your wish list, put this one. If you don't know it, Pride Fort, it's very famous for the Germans. They have a direct flight from Frankfurt. It's only if you like summer, like the temperature here when it's cold is 25 degrees. So it's from 25 to 35. Okay, when I went in 2022, there was nothing, only the start of the project. So we decided to put one project in a place that is called Pride of Santo Antônio. Only to show you the size. The red zone looks small, but it's 650 kilometers square. Only to show you the size. This is Bahia, and that one was the municipality. So this was the project for the school. Container with separation, it was all educational. In 2020, 2024, they made the composting plant. I will show you fastly. This is like trees mixed to food waste of hotel, and the final result is compost. So imagine, for example, about Japan, all the food waste that is going to incineration or whatever, it can be transformed in compost. This is separate using about AI in the hotel to reduce the food waste. Okay, first they put like they took away all the plastic bags, only glass bottles with refill. This is the use of AI to reduce like food waste in the kitchen. So they analyze the food scraps. If there is something that the guest doesn't like, they take out from the menu. So I reduce like the food waste. In all the Ibero-star hotels you have it. This is a 5-star luxury. This hotel, to understand for you, it's about 200,500 rooms. So it's 6,000 people. This is the triage plant. So it's this in Brazil, it's not in Europe. So manual, this is the plastic that is coming inside. That one, it's one machine with waste separators with optical sensor and air fills. So pilot project, and I'm going to the presentation of the results and then. This one is the location. It's this is called in Portuguese Barraca da Praia. It's like kiosk on the beach. It's very small, 200 people, but with a huge amount of tourism. It was the first pilot project in all Latin America with this system. Nobody believed it, neither the mayor. So now the mayor wants to extend to all the town in less than 3 months. This was before. In Spanish it's called vertedero. It's like a landfill and open air. So the situation was like this. Just to show you that the starting point was bad. So the project was financed by the Foundation Coca-Cola with $25,000. So we started changing the system. This was before and after. This was before. This is a mini composting plants. Because we didn't have a lot of money, so we managed to do compost with water tanks. It works. If you don't have money, you have to be, let's say, a little bit differently clever. So triage before and after. Triage, I mean where the waste is separated. We use the technology and bins from Italy where we can manage it. This is like a 10-liter aerated bin. When we didn't have money, we used like water bins. Organic for a restaurant, organic for home users. These we use like bags made in Brazil for recyclable and glass. This is a very important part because we have a lot of coconuts in Brazil, especially like for tourists. So coconuts went all in landfill. Now it's like it's made in scraps and it's going to compost. So what it was completely waste, now it's completely compost. It's only to show you that logistical choices completely change the system. So participation process that I said to you, it was like about 3-4 months. This is like distribution of material. The project was paying also this guy that is a biolog engineer, let's say like this. It was he was working before in Progetto Tamar, that was like the turtle saving project, and now worked for 6 months to coordinate the project on site. Final results. This is like about compost bag for food waste. The idea was to introduce also the educational project. They did also this, the calendar of collection that it's like in Italy. Before they started with twice a week trash collection. Now it's not needed, so once, because it's decreased. So the results. The goals was to reduce, let's say, June this year, 90% of waste diverted by landfills. The actual results, they started from 0%. Now we had like the average, it's about 60%, and the two peaks are about 70%.
70% of what? Adoption?
All the waste.
All the waste, okay.
All the waste. So you can see, this was unsorted before. The unsorted I can show you better, it's the orange. So it's decreased by 7 tons a month to 1. So it's huge decrease. You have to understand. For this I will share you all the
uma iniciativa em uma pequena vila da Bahia aponta o
this is
caminho.
like Prime TV. This is Globo TV. It's like the main Brazilian channel. Now it's in all the media in Brazil because it's the only case study in all American countries. It's like this, it's very simple, it's nothing technology because we didn't have trucks, it's made by a motorbike, but now we are escalating with trucks and everything. This is the composting part. So, actual results, it's like from 0 to 70% of separate collection of all the waste, and like the reduction of trash in landfill, it's from 7 tons to 1.5 a month. And you have to understand that the average recycling in Brazil, it's less of 4%. So and now we are like average, it's about 60. Project was made with the support of Coca-Cola Brazil, and this is Carbogreen, that is the plant, with the association of the residents. S.r.l, that is like the consultant of the field, and Istituto Prospera and the town of Mata de São João. So, if it's made, let's say, in this town in Latin America, I mean, we can do it everywhere. everywhere, also in US. So, Canada, whatever you want, Japan. So, to close, what you need to make a project that it's working. A project that it's simple, because you are not talking with academic people, but with like, I call it like in Italian, Signora Maria. It's like you have to teach to her, and it must be simple. You need to do a participatory process that it's like trying to spread the things in an easy way, and the training for the scholar population that is constant, because the children are only helping you. So, thank you for your time. If you have any questions, tell me. 2, 3.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, great presentation. Thanks. What's driving this economically? Why are they changing from their former system to the new system? Why? What's the value to them?
Okay, the main problem.
Other than it being, climate smart.
No, but it's okay. You cannot change the political view about climate because
Right.
they don't care. So
Yeah.
you need to put it in economical way.
So what's the economic law?
I can explain you the main difference why it started, for example, in Italy or in Germany and not in US or in Brazil or Canada. Because we have small territory. So you don't have any more space for landfills. Finished.
Yeah.
In Brazil, in US, in Canada, you don't have this problem because it's huge. So let's say Japan made the solution with incineration, but it's not a solution because it's like you are burning materials that you can reuse. So let's not talk about climate and air, whatever. The main thing is that imagine that Germany and Italy, for example, we are the production. We have 50% of the sole production of the European Union, and we are interconnected. If you buy an Audi, 90% of the components are made in Italy and assembled in Germany. It's very connected. So, but we don't have oil, we don't have materials, so we have to import them. So it's stupid to burn plastic because we have to re-import oil. It's the same, for example, for these countries. The cost that they will pay, it will be in 20, 30, 50 years to make the cleaning of a landfill. Because the landfill are not secure system. It's like a time bomb.
Mm-hmm.
It
And
will
it's
collapse.
producing methane and CO2.
Methane and leach.
Yeah,
Problem
leach,
is
yeah,
mainly the
leachate,
leach. So
yeah.
because methane is going to the air, they don't care. But leach,
Well, it's a huge greenhouse gas, though.
yeah, but for other people. But
Yeah,
the leach, the problem is that
Right.
you have contamination
In the
of
aquifer.
water fields. And now I figure out that mostly in Latin America, they don't think where to make a landfill. So they put next to a river, next to the sea, they don't care. So if you make this system in a short term, you can sell the materials. Instead of
so
paying
in Latin
landfill, you sell
America,
it.
was that driving it? Like, what was the economic argument for a small town that you showed Brazil to do this? Why did they do it?
First, the process can be paid by itself because the cost of the landfill
Yeah.
can be converted in cost of collection, and you can reduce the cost of the total system selling the material.
Okay. So
Glass,
is
plastic. Plastic has a huge value. For example, plastic packaging has a value that could be $300 per ton. In Europe, PET it's
Yeah.
about 500.
Yeah.
Paper, it's over 50. Carton, cardboard, it's over 80.
So it's the recycling economics is driving it.
You have to think that it's not, let's say, it's not for profit because you only reduce the total cost of the system. But the problem is in a lot of countries they don't take the cost of the landfill as a direct cost because they're not paying it now.
Yeah.
They will pay it in 20 years, but the actual mayor doesn't care.
So why'd they do the project then?
You need to find an illuminated mayor. What is happening? It's very easy. For me, it took 8 years in Brazil to find him. 8. So, but when it started, it's unstoppable. In Romania, one town, in 1 year, 58 towns.
Right.
In 2 years, change of a national law.
Right.
So it's very fast because when you start a pilot project, it's a domino effect, and
Yeah.
the next mayor say,
Wants to do
why
it.
am I stupid that my next mayor did it and I'm not?
Yeah.
So they want to copy it. And when you start this thing, you start economical, let's say, trend, because you need to build the bin, the bags, the trucks, the tracking system.
Right.
So you create like an economical system all around. Last week we were in Ecomondo. There is the same in Germany, but it's called IFAT in Munich. It's the biggest expo in Italy now. So there is a huge economic value all around, like recycling collection and everything. But it's managed by the legislation. In Europe it's different because the law is very strict about recycling.
Is there any enforcement steps that should be taken by the municipality for the separation? The home separation of the waste.
Okay, if anybody is interested, I can share everything, information. Now there is nothing to try to experiment, because, for example, especially Germany and Italy have tested this system for over 30 years. So we know what to do, like for example, high density towns, low density town, touristic town. The system is mainly the same, but it's adapted. So the main thing is that you need to do a system that is simple and it's adapting to different type of users. For example, Japan is very similar to Italy, but you have smaller houses if compared to US, super small. So you need to create a type of bin that is adapted to their house. It's logistic, but if it's not adaptable to the apartment, the user will not use it. They will not do it. So simple and economical leverage. If you put like a taxation that is personal, everybody will do it. If you say let's do it for the community, it doesn't work. So thank you so much.